15 of the most upvoted Am I the Devil Reddit stories for the month of July. I know this is coming a little bit late. If you guys haven't been following along, I took a trip to Italy for 2 weeks. That's why I wasn't uploading. I didn't abandon you guys or anything like that. But because of that, I took time off. My editor took time off. But we're back to business. We got this video for you guys. We have a 15 most upvoted best of Redditor updates video coming as well. Streams are starting up again. And I vlogged my entire Italy, Europe trip. And I think 2 vlogs are going to come out of that. So we got plenty of content coming for you guys. Y'all already know the drill for this series. There are going to be a couple repeats, but I think there's only 5, which means that 10 of the stories are brand spanking new, and all those are going to be timestamped down below. So if you feel like it, feel free to skip around to only the new stories. Y'all know the drill. Let's lock in here and read some Reddit. 30 male, confessed my feelings to my coworker, 20 female, and now we're not talking at all. Posted in r/relationship advice. I met a fellow coworker last year, and since then she's become part of our team. Little did I know that we had much shared interests such as music, movies, jokes, you name it. We probably both liked it. And let me reiterate, this is a 30 male OP and a 20 female coworker. Ever since she's become a permanent part of our team like 4 months ago, I started to look at her differently since. I don't know, she felt magical, responsible, and just someone who tries to be better and work hard, etc. But I'm not gonna fill up too many details. Just know that every day we would talk about our shared interests. She felt like a friend to me. Well, I guess you guessed by now that I started to have a crush on her, like a big crush. But since I'm kind of her superior, as I am a full-fledged engineer in my company, and she's very recent at the company, I always felt like what I was feeling was wrong. You should trust that feeling, my guy, because you would be right. That is extremely wrong. Since the company I work for tends to gossip an awful lot. Oh, so you don't actually care about the moral implications of it. You care about what other people think about it, which is correct, by the way. There's probably a reason why they would gossip an awful lot about it. It's because it's wrong. So I knew that if I brought out these feelings and somehow someone notices that, it would greatly harm her career and mine too, but to a lesser degree. But I had the idea to ask her out, not in a romantic way though, since a band that plays the genre she likes would perform, and I told her a lot about it, and I even invited our other coworkers, but only she and I went there. She told me later that she was not feeling well that day, but we just watched the concert and I drove her home. This paragraph is so sus to me. Like, did he bait her into think that the other coworkers were coming? And why was it relevant that she told him later that she was not feeling well that day? Fast forward a few days and it kind of evolved to flirting and mockery. In parentheses, so kind of my weak spot. She asked me out on another concert to a band that she liked, and then we went there together. So we drank, we watched the concert, it was all good. We found a few of my friends and we went drinking again. I noticed a couple of hints that she might like me back, like playing with fingers and etc. So I took the chance and confessed my feelings for her, and she answered, I kinda like you, but we can't have anything because of work. I was overwhelmed with joy. I mean, I know that we couldn't have anything, but it's good to be reciprocated, you know? So we shared a pretty long hug, like 1 hour long. Talked a bit and I drove her home. How the fuck do you hug for an hour? That's insane. I'm so confused. This whole story is just what the fuck. What I found completely strange is how over the next couple of weeks, she felt completely distant from me. Any minimum effort to deepen our friendship or go out again to do anything would be met with a not a good idea. So I asked her, so what's up? You said you liked me, but now we can't even be friends? She said later that she liked her ex, so she didn't want to give me any hope. After we thoroughly talked about how we can't have a relationship. This makes like no sense. Someone in chat said bad hugging skills. Bro must have really sucked with that hour-long hug. Like, this whole thing just seems so weird. OP doesn't want to deepen the friendship. He wants to pressure her into trying to have a relationship. If you truly felt like this couldn't happen, why would you entertain it? I may have been wrong for dropping a few flirts unintentionally to her during this period, at work, while talking to other people at work with her listening. But I guess this is when I lost it, because she became even more distant. I mean, distant. Not even looking at my face when talking distant. I felt betrayed since she was so incoherent about her feelings and just wouldn't give it to me straight, and even gave me hope. So I was never sure if she liked me and just protecting herself, in parentheses, since a relationship would greatly hurt her career, or she just didn't like me at all. I mean, I wanted some closure or clarity. Hey dog, it sounds like she's 20 years old and doesn't yet have the maturity to give you closure or clarity that you're asking as a 30-year-old man. Also, I think she likes her ex and she didn't want to give him any hope is pretty good clarity. Out of sadness or rage? Question mark? I don't know. I dropped 1 or 2 hints that she was an asshole to me for saying she liked me and then distancing herself. And that would be inappropriate for our workplace since she and I were very uncomfortable with the whole situation. Since I felt like this shouldn't be the way, I intentionally approached her and talked about how I was sad about the whole situation, but I would want to stay as her friend since we know nothing could happen. And she answered, "I like talking to you too. If it's up to me, it's not gonna end." And then she became even more distant. Now she's intentionally avoiding me, not even talking to me physically, only through our message app. Damn. I feel like she's likely keeping contact with me because since I work with her and she works for me on some stuff, we are kind of forced to talk to each other almost on a daily basis. For reference, she sits behind me. Over the course of the last week, I spoke with 2 coworkers since I was almost losing it. Friend A, who's not that much closer to my Honestly, this dude's the devil for this fucking poorly written story, chat. What the fuck is he typing? I'm just gonna read this as he typed it. I am also confused. Friend A, in parentheses, who's not that much close to my coworker. Don't know which coworker he's referring to. Said she was really mean to me and I shouldn't be sad for someone who treats me as such. Friend B, who's heard both sides of the story, said I was wrong for liking the wrong person since my coworker still liked her ex and she's too young for me. And my coworker was wrong for giving me any sort of hope, which I agree. But I can't really shake the feeling that she liked me. Anyways, I don't know. Reddit, I feel like I screwed this up, but I really like her even if she was incoherent with me. I've been trying to be as professional as I can, but it's kind of sad to not talk to her, but I'm managing. Thoughts? Is this relationship salvageable? Or am I cursed to work with someone who intentionally avoids talking to me and may or may not like me? First off, let's listen to friend B here. Friend B is cooking. It was inappropriate for you to like her since she was your coworker and because she was too young for you. Just the fact that she was too young for you, dog. Like, why? 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 What are we doing? This whole thing just melted my fucking brain. Not only with him being a borderline predator, but also by the way he fucking wrote this shit. God, that hurt to read. I'm trying to think, chat. Don't get me wrong. Like, excluding her age, her behavior is a little weird. If she wasn't that age, I would definitely be like, what the fuck is this person doing? But it seems like her words aren't exactly saying yes. It's like, no, but with the caveat that I still like you. But her actions are 100% saying no. And that's what OP needs to go off of. If the girl's actions are saying no, leave her alone. Whether she's an appropriate age for you to date or not, leave her the fuck alone. Why is he so obsessed with a 20-year-old? Here's the thing, chat, is like, what I would bank on, y'all, is his recounting of all of the concert going is not how she perceives it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's making her feel extremely uncomfortable and she's playing this game of like, yeah, I like you, but I'm not over my ex, but I'm also gonna completely avoid you because I don't want to be around you. I'm guessing she's playing like this because she doesn't want to be fired or anything like that. Super untrustworthy narrator. That's how I look at it, bro. Something about the hour-long hug is rubbing me the wrong way. I feel like that has to be a little bit forced. Am I the a-hole for refusing to help my wife bathe our son when she said she's tired today? Where I live, there's a hot summer right now, so we put our son under the shower almost every day after kindergarten time. Usually my wife is responsible for this. I just help get him undressed and fill bath with water and toys, but she does the actual washing. Yesterday, my wife told me that she's tired and has back pain and wanted me to shower him this day. I was just coming from work and I was exhausted. I will also have to do all the dinner dishes at night while they are sleeping, so my day is not easier anyhow. As my wife starts complaining about being tired and not able to do things, asking for help, etc., I told her then I am not also going to do the house chores at night as I am also tired. She got angry and told me that I don't care about her emotions or physical strength and that she doesn't ask me for this every day. I still also insisted to not help. My goal was to let her know that everyone in the house has something to do, and if everyone says I am tired, then nothing gets accomplished. I wanted to punish her for I wanted to punish her for saying very often that she's tired and has no energy to do anything. Although I know she has energy as she spends hours on Facebook and talking to her friends over the phone. My boy, those energies are very different. One is chaotic, a chore, and like not something that you necessarily look forward to doing if you're tired and have back pain. The other one is something that is like a break from those things and does not involve back pain or being tired. Oh, the stupidity. I don't want things to escalate. I just want her to have discipline and do what she has to do. Am I the a-hole? I mean, the punish thing is crazy. That is the biggest red flag I've ever seen. The whole post is a red flag, but that one in particular is flying a little higher than the rest of them. Dude, there are gonna be some days when like you are gonna lean on your partner to take care of some things for you because it's just a rough day, or you're more busy than normal, you're more tired than normal. But also like you do that for each other. It'll happen vice versa, where the other partner is the one who's tired and can't get stuff done and needs more favors. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, dog, this is your kid too. You help make that crotch goblin. Take care of your crotch goblin. That's insane. Oh, wee woo, you have to bathe your child and do dishes. Oh, your life is so hard. You baby back bitch. I hope the wife sees this post and divorces his ass, because that is just unacceptable. And the punish thing, bro. Like, what do you mean you want to punish them? Sometimes it's okay to ask for help, and in this case, you also have to think about the kid and not about punishing your wife. I wasn't getting from this story that English is his first language, so maybe punish was just a harsh word that he chose. No, but punish is just so specific, actually. Like, I could see being like, hey, I want to have a thoughtful discussion about doing your chores, but punish is just so different from that. Punish is like, I want you to suffer for not doing what I want you to do. No, I don't think even discourage works, because what I'm talking about is like in another circumstance, another scenario. Let's say the wife is lazy and the husband wants to like yell at her or like some way convey his anger about her being lazy. That's so different from punish. But like the English isn't great here, so maybe that's what he meant, but like, I don't know. Punish is just crazy. Like, there's no way that what I just said can translate into punish. I'm curious, what is like the hard definition of punish? Inflict a penalty or sanction on someone as retribution for an offense, especially a transgression of legal or moral code. Yeah, see, like inflicting a penalty or sanction on somebody, on your wife, just does not seem like a great way to go through marriage. I mean, unless you guys are like into that shit, but like it's consensual, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, bro, like that is a very harsh word to describe how you go about problems in your marriage. Like, even if she was lazy and not doing her work, there's no reason to punish her for it. There's reason to have a conversation with her and try to work with her. And if that doesn't work, then getting a divorce. Teaching your wife a lesson is not a way to go about discussing equal share of tasks. Exactly. Punishment goes along with like teaching someone a lesson. I definitely think he wanted to make her suffer or miserable in some way. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling too, bro. Not the way to go about marriage, if you ask me. Goddamn. Take care of your fucking kid, you lazy piece of shit. I feel like as a parent, you lose all your ability to complain about being tired when you decide to have a kid. What the fuck did you think you were signing up for, bro? You have a whole ass child that is dependent on you to survive for the next 18 years. You don't get to be tired. I broke up with my girlfriend because she gained 20 pounds in the 4 months we dated, and I lost most of my physical attraction to her. I decided I couldn't be happy in a relationship with someone that size. I didn't tell her this. Do I tell her? 36 male OP and 30 female girlfriend. Oh God. A few days ago, she said, I love you. I froze up and couldn't respond. A few days later, she asked for my response. I blathered nothing for 10 minutes before leaving. We finished the conversation the next day. I told her, you deserve someone who will love you back. I didn't tell her that it was because I decided that I couldn't be happy in a relationship with someone who weighed so much more than me. For context, when we started dating, she already was at a size that was off-putting to me. However, it wasn't enough to be a deal breaker. Over the 4 months we'd been together, we both put on weight. I probably gained 5 to 10 pounds. I went up half a pant size, maybe a whole pant size. I can still fit in all my clothing except for 2 pairs of my tightest pants. God, I just know this man is fucking ugly too, dog. Like, she gained 20 pounds and it shows. It doesn't look good. She already weighed more than me when we got together. I work out and I'm strong, but I cannot pick her up or throw her around in bed. I also cannot bring myself to go down on a girl if I'm not really attracted to her. I've never gone down on a girl who weighed more than me. And she had complained a little bit about this in the last month. She made a joking comment here or there about how I'd never gone down on her. Well, it was because she just didn't turn me on enough. Basically, with my other partners, I would usually go twice, but I never did with my ex-girlfriend. I feel like if she lost enough weight, I would become more attracted to her, and I wouldn't be put off at the thought of going down on her. Chat, hot take. Guys that are like this because they actually want to fuck a guy in the butt. Dead ass. If you can't fall in love with somebody for more than just the weight that they're at, like, what are we fucking doing, dog? Therapy immediately. I talked to some of my friends and they said, well, if you marry her and you have kids, you know she's going to gain weight, right? Her and I both want kids. They also said, you know, everyone gains weight as they get older, right? I know they are correct. However, I'm a fitness guy. I know a lot about food, diet, exercise, weightlifting, changing one's body, that sort of thing. One of the main reasons I gained weight once her and I started going out was because I had to make time in my week for her, and naturally that ate into my gym sessions. I'm a fitness guy and being fit is important to me, but like, dog, it's the lack of like him being able to even just be with somebody for the sake of like actually loving them. Chat, it honestly stems from up here. Him being like, oh yeah, I was already not really attracted to her, but I just decided to date her anyways. Like, what are we doing? If you don't see the potential to love them forever, why get in relationship? What do you fucking mean, dude? There were a few other things about her that I wasn't a fan of, but after I thought about it, none of them were really stopping me from being turned on by her, and none of them would have been deal breakers for marriage. Well, dude, all you're looking for is being turned on by her. Like, where's the, oh, but she really made me feel good and supported my dreams and supported my career. Like, there's none of that. It's literally just, she was 20 pounds overweight and I couldn't eat her out because of it. It's just so ridiculous for him to be complaining about this and be like, oh, but I also gained weight. Like, what? And none of them would be deal breakers for marriage. It really does just come down to her being too overweight for me to the point that I lost my attraction to her. Basically, after she gained some weight, I stopped wanting to have sex with her and would basically only have sex with her when she initiated. She would initiate a lot. We had sex almost every time we saw each other, and I liked that she did that. I never turned her down either, and I made sure that she came almost basically every time. Yeah, dog, she was faking it. With you, she was absolutely faking it. Also, just in general, TMI, dog. This post is so goddamn unnecessary. I genuinely believe this dude just wanted to hop online and talk about his sexual exploits anonymously. Anyways, it's been a day since we broke up. I was holding back tears the whole car ride home. When I got home, I grabbed a towel and I just bawled and sobbed into it for 20 minutes. I've never done that before with any other breakup. And so, because I cried so much, I realized I actually do love her. I just couldn't commit myself to a lifetime of being with someone I'm not physically attracted to, which is why I told her that I could not tell her that I loved her back. I cannot willingly and knowingly put my future self into an r/dead bedroom situation. Oh my God. It really is giving a guy who is just so unbelievably shallow and checked out and narcissistic that they can't check their subconscious feelings. I've never seen a larger candidate for therapy. This dude's mom did not tell him I love you enough. I didn't tell her this because at the time I thought it would be pointless and would only be destructive, but now that I've thought about it for a day, I've decided that I could spend the rest of my life with her if she lost some weight. It would be good if she lost maybe 40 pounds. Wow. Oh yeah, just a light 40 pounds. Huh? For reference, she's 5'2" and weighs over 200 pounds. I'm 5'7" and I weigh about 170. However, I have a lot of muscle due to lifting weights, so the fat looks good on me. I have a V taper with noticeably okay, shut the fuck up. I don't care. I really don't care. I have a V taper with noticeably large arms, shoulders, chest, legs, and back. Cool. Didn't ask. I asked 2 of my friends about this evening. Here's what they said. Friend 1, if you really mean it, potentially possibly consider doing it, but remember that she'll have that hanging over her head for the rest of her life if you are together with her. Friend 2, either way, don't tell her. Even if she lost the weight, the other things would eventually nag you. Jesus. Those other things are, 1, she dresses like a lesbian and doesn't shave. I'm a heterosexual man and I would prefer if she presented herself a little bit more femininely. However, this was never a deal breaker. 2, she has different political opinions than me. I mean, we knew it, but like confirmed. Bro is slobbing on Daddy Trump's knob hardcore. And we talked about this and it's not a deal breaker for her either. All right, girl, come on, let's have some self-respect. There's no way this is the man for you, dog. This guy is a therapist's fever dream. 3, she can be overly dominant, bossy, stubborn, and aggressive at times. Oh, you mean she stands up for what she wants and isn't submissive to you and every little thing that you want from her? I'm not the type of dude who needs to be right all the time. I'm definitely not right all the time, and I don't mind her cutting me off occasionally or trying to one-up me. which she can easily do because she's smarter than me. I just gotta finish reading this chat. I'm going to deep throat a Glock if I have to read this any longer than necessary. And the reason I'm considering potentially trying to get back with her, she's an amazing person that I clicked with on a lot of levels and had a great time with her while we were together. I realized if I could just have the physical attraction, that would be every facet of love, because I think love is both feeling and also an act. I wasn't feeling the physical passion that I think is an aspect of love, but I definitely love her personality and how she treated me. I love spending time with her and taking her out on dates. I felt like I was learning from her and she was learning from me. Even though she's smarter than me, I'm an engineering giga nerd, and she loved it when I could prove her wrong with some random unimportant scientific topic. It made me happy that once in a while I could one-up her at some sort of intelligence game, mainly because it turned her on when that would happen. Not that she didn't get turned on regularly otherwise, I'm just trying to say, body aside, she is the kind of person I could settle down with. I know I only dated her for 4 months, and I realized that wanting to change things about a partner after just 4 months might be crazy. Maybe it is crazy, and maybe I should never talk to her again, let alone tell her this. I just feel like maybe there's a chance that I could tell her and she would agree to work on her weight and we would be together. And maybe if that happened, there'd be a chance we'd get married and have the family we want, etc. I feel like that's worth fighting for. But if I contact her and she agrees to talk to me and I tell her this, it could also go wrong in many ways. I just don't know what to do and could use some advice. I was expecting this to be in like r/guy cry or something. Holy shit. I've talked about this before, y'all. People are attracted to what they're attracted to. I've always said if girls are allowed to do their I only date guys above the height of 6'1", I think anybody's allowed to be like, hey, I would prefer, like, I'm a little bit like this. Like, I like to at least right off the rip date somebody who is into like working out and fitness, just because I'm very into working out and fitness. That's like a big part of my life that I want to share with a loved one. That being said, that's not what you fall in love with, because that doesn't last. If you're falling in love with somebody and prioritizing their physical appearance of it, you got to go to therapy for that. I truly believe that. That is such an awful thing to fall in love with. You should be falling in love with, honestly, a lot of the stuff he was saying at the end there. If they challenge you intellectually, that's something you should be more attracted to, and that should be the deal breaker in your relationship, not whether or not she gains or loses 40 pounds. It's just so ridiculous. My tip for this dude is just like, leave this poor fucking girl alone. Because if you say any of the shit that you just put in this paragraph, that's going to fuck her up mentally. If you actually care about her the way you claim to care about her, do not fucking send her what you just put in this Reddit thread. Go to therapy and figure your shit out. Because this isn't a her problem, this is a you problem. I truly believe. Am I the a-hole for not helping my cheating pregnant ex-wife when she fell in front of our daughter? I, 38 male, have a daughter who's 15. Her mom and I divorced 3 years ago. I really loved her, but she initiated the divorce because she said she'd fallen out of love with me, and she admitted to having feelings for one of her close friends. It mentally traumatized me for a while, but therapy helped me move on. She was very apologetic about everything, but I was just done with her after the divorce. We've since maintained a stable co-parenting relationship for our daughter's sake. Based off the title, the word stable is being stretched pretty thin here. She's now remarried to her affair partner and currently pregnant. Last week, I was dropping my daughter. Okay, wait, but I guess she emotionally cheated, so I guess affair partner fits. Last week, I was dropping my daughter off for her scheduled time at her mom's place. As my ex was coming out of the house, she tripped on something and fell pretty badly. It was really scary considering she's a few months pregnant, and my daughter was immediately panicked and rushed to her. She asked me to come out and help, but honestly, I didn't really care. I just told her to call her stepdad and then left. Holy fuck, that is heartless. It might sound harsh, but in my mind, it wasn't my responsibility anymore. Anyway, when my daughter came home last night, she seemed really sad. I asked her if the baby was going to be okay, and she said yes, but then she told me that what I did last week was the cruelest thing she's ever seen anyone do. She cried again and went up to her room. I do feel guilty about my daughter crying, but I don't feel guilty about what I did. Am I the a-hole? Top comment is just, in quotations, therapy helped me move on. Clearly, therapy did not help him move on. I would agree. Bro has clearly not moved on. Oh, dude, this is so hard because there's kids involved. Both the kid that she's pregnant with and OP's kid. Because, like, here's the thing, y'all. I don't think we should let this ex-wife off scot-free on cheating on OP. I don't want to give her any, like, oh, you deserve forgiveness, because I honestly don't think she deserves full forgiveness. That being said, just blanket statement, not helping a pregnant woman who's fallen over, heartless. Not helping a pregnant lady who used to be your ex-wife that you were in love with and you have a child with, and said child is present. I think that's enough variables for me to be like, bro, I know she did you wrong, but that's pretty fucking heartless. That is some cold ass shit right there. And I think too, the most detrimental thing is the effect on the daughter. Like, if anything, bro, you should feel guilty, not about your daughter crying, not about you letting your ex fall and not helping her out, but on the damage that you just did to your daughter. That's what you should feel probably the most guilty about. Hope the baby's okay. The baby is okay, chat. But he didn't know that at the time. That's fucking insane. He should have done it for his daughter at least, because she's still your daughter's mother. I agree, Stark. Out of any of those reasons, that one right there is the most important one. The way OP talks, I don't think OP would help a pregnant stranger either. Probably not. He's trying to make himself look better by claiming she cheated when it's stated that she fell out of love, caught feelings, and divorced. Catching feelings is cheating now. I genuinely think we would call this emotionally cheating on somebody, which, like, you can argue if you want to count that as true cheating, but I think there are certain circumstances where we have counted it as emotional cheating. Like, listen, I'm not trying to say that he should have not helped her. I'm more making the point that I understand where animosity would be there from OP, because, like, she emotionally cheated and then she remarried to said person that she caught feelings for. To me, that sounds like emotional cheating. Not saying that that's a good reason at all. I would understand a certain level of animosity for her, but I feel like this far surpasses the animosity that she deserves. And on top of that, in front of the daughter is just evil. But did she even cheat? She said she had feelings for her friend. That doesn't even really mean there was emotional cheating. She could have realized feelings and decided to divorce to do the right thing. I mean, what do you guys count as emotional cheating? I don't think catching feelings is cheating if you realize it and divorce. It's only cheating if you continue to pursue the feelings. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this is probably where it gets complicated. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. Here's the thing, y'all. It's the best case scenario in that situation, but it's still not right. Emotional cheating is a real thing if you go to another person instead of the person you're supposed to love. I think it's emotional cheating. Now, do I think that, like, maybe there's the best case scenario where, like, it just kind of happened by accident and they got really close and then OP's wife realized she fell out of love and immediately took action? Yeah, 100%. Would I still say that it's like we shouldn't sit there and frown upon it? No, I don't think so. I think we should still frown upon it a little bit. The wife is a negligible factor here. I think that's a really good point, Kennedy. To me, it's more about the optics with the daughter. OP said, we've since maintained a stable co-parenting relationship for our daughter's sake. What OP did does not fall underneath stable co-parenting relationship to me at all. Okay, so this one is from True Off My Chest. PSA, if you're the friend who blocks guys from talking to your attractive friend, you're not protecting anyone. You're just being controlling. All right, I need to vent about something that happened last weekend, and I'm curious if other guys have experienced this. I'm 31, decent career, been told I'm good looking, and generally don't have issues meeting people. I've had my fair share of success dating and usually feel pretty confident in social situations, but last Saturday at this club downtown, I encountered something that just blew my mind. There was this absolutely stunning woman at the bar, let's call her Sarah. She was clearly interested, making eye contact, smiling when I looked over, the whole 9 yards. So I walk over to introduce myself, and immediately this other woman, let's call her the Fridge, literally steps between us. She's not interested, the Fridge says, arms crossed like a bouncer. First off, like, you can't be that great of a catch if you're referring to her as the Fridge. Second, I guarantee she wasn't as interested as this dude thinks. There are some guys out there that will take anything as a reason to go and talk to somebody. But here's the thing. Sarah was clearly interested. She was giving me the look, you know? She even tried to step around her friend to continue our conversation, but the Fridge kept repositioning herself like some kind of human wall. This went on for 20 minutes. Every time I tried to have a normal conversation with Sarah, the Fridge would interrupt with, she has a boyfriend. In parentheses, she didn't. She's not looking to meet anyone tonight. In parentheses, she obviously was. Or just physically blocking access. The most frustrating part, Sarah looked genuinely annoyed with her friend's behavior too. At one point, she literally mouthed, sorry, to me over the Fridge's shoulder. Even if she was interested in you for some reason, based off of this post, I can already tell the friend did her a favor, because you are a fucking dickhead. I've seen this before, but never this extreme. It's like some women have appointed themselves as the official gatekeeper to their attractive friends. They act like they're protecting them. But from what? A normal conversation with a respectful guy? Look, I get it if a guy's being creepy or aggressive, then absolutely step in, but I was being completely respectful. Sarah was clearly interested, and this woman was just blocking for the sake of blocking. I genuinely don't understand the psychology here. The worst part is that it's not just hurting the guy. It's taking away Sarah's ability to make her own decisions about who she wants to talk to. Honestly, it's making me want to avoid group approaches entirely. First off, like I said, this guy does not sound like a fucking catch. He sounds like a fucking dickhead. Let's just isolate the scenario though. Like, let's say that this guy isn't a fucking dickhead and there is a friend gatekeeping their friend for some reason. There has to be a good reason for it. And if they're not, that isn't something for you to go and whine about on the internet. That's something for you to be like, oh, okay, weird. Like, probably don't want to deal with this anyways, and just walk away. Like, you're telling me this fucking ruined your entire night? This is bothering you enough to make a fucking Reddit post about it? Let's just say, theoretically isolating the situation, if Sarah doesn't have the balls to tell her friend to fuck off if she's really that interested in you, then just probably not somebody that you want to even date in the first place, me personally. But I would venture to guess that that friend probably knew something about you, or you're fucking lying and there's 0% chance she actually wanted to talk to you. Or maybe two, maybe she did actually have a boyfriend, you know? 20 minutes and he didn't take the loss and move on. For real, it's just like, if there is friction talking to somebody, just leave. What's the fucking point, dog? It's just a waste of time at that point. If Sarah wanted to talk to you, it would have happened. That's how I feel too. Even if she did want to talk to you, but she can't because for some reason her friend makes all of her decisions for you, is that really somebody you want to fucking date? Me personally, no. But I highly doubt that. I truly believe, unless Sarah is just spineless and can't speak for herself, she didn't actually want to talk to you. She was siding with her friend. The moment he called the friend the fridge, he lost all credibility. Exactly, Kit. Like, I would be more on the side of this guy is just hyping himself up. Oh yeah, bro, like she totally wanted to talk to me. She was giving me the look. Bro, you were probably being aggressively annoying, and they probably had a signal of like, get this guy the fuck away from me, dog. Smiling in his direction doesn't mean it was at him. Yeah, sometimes girls just do that because some guys freak out at girls when they don't smile at them. My wife wants me to turn down a job because she doesn't like who I will work for. How can I get her to understand I have to do what's best for the family? Posted in r/relationship advice, we have a 34 male OP and a 34 female wife. So almost 2 years ago, I had an affair with my coworker. Hot fucking start, dog. I think it was a mixture of depression and stress that caused it. Wow. Hot way to start it, and also say, but I take absolutely zero accountability for it. I blame my mental health. I'm better now, and I can say we both deeply regret what happened. We deeply regret what happened? Your wife did nothing. She has nothing to regret other than marrying you. I ended up getting a different job, and my wife and I worked things out. She still struggles with trusting me, but has gotten better. Fast forward almost 2 years, my former coworker messages me out of the blue about career opportunities. Trying not to be too specific, but she got a really important job and has her own staff, and she asked me to be her chief of staff. The salary would be fantastic, and we got coffee and caught up, and I'm going to probably take it. Chat, how much you want to bet he did not talk to his wife prior about having coffee with his ex-lover that he cheated on her with? How much money y'all want to put on this shit? I told my wife and she said absolutely not. In normal circumstances, I would understand, but we have a 5-year-old and the salary is just great. I'm the type of guy that puts my child first. Obviously fucking not. If you put your child first, you wouldn't have cheated on your wife. Nah, dog, you put your dick first. It goes OP's dick, child, wife. That is the order we're working with here, dog. I'm the type of guy that puts my child first, and this would allow us to put a lot in his college fund and trust fund in general, but she has said absolutely not. I reassured her that my former coworker, soon to be boss, is disgusted by her past actions, as am I. And this is professional, and she knows that I'm capable. I just want my wife to understand we gotta think of our son right now. Yeah, this wife does need to think of her son and dump OP's fucking ass, bro. You can't stay with this piece of shit. You just can't. He not only cheated on you, but now he's like, oh, well, let me go take a job underneath the person that I cheated on you with, and then use our child as leverage to try to convince you to allow me to take said job. What do you mean? That's insane. I can't believe that, bro. The audacity, chat? Wow. The Lulu is off the charts, y'all. Sometimes the lack of a male role model is better. No, for real. What is he teaching this kid? But then also, what is this wife teaching the kid? Like, this is like that story that we read in our previous stream about the mother-in-law blaming OP for getting a divorce to the mother-in-law's son because the mother-in-law literally taught him that if he cheats on women, they'll stay. That's what's happening here, chat. Not to like blame the wife because she's the victim here, but like, dog, let's nut up. Someone cheats on you, chat? You leave that shit ASAP Rocky. She should tell him to take the job so she can get more alimony. Ringa, I like where your head's at. Someone screenshot that, send that to this wife. Get your bag, queen. Get your bag. R/ask men advice. Stupid fantasy of being liked and building oneself together with a woman. I'm a man? Question mark. Oh, hot start. I dislike female mating behavior. Oh, this can only have good things in it. I'm absolutely certain that I'm the odd type of dude who operates optimally to being given the cookie before I do the work. Bro, please tell me he is not equating having sex to being given a cookie. I'm not wishing women were naive because I might try to get away with some BS. In fact, I would benefit from my partner pushing me towards good goals. And if I wouldn't live up to it, they could leave me. What I'm talking about is being given the chance. Hold on. What you're telling me is that you have no internal motivation to make yourself better other than if a woman was pushing you and giving you incentives to achieve those goals. What a long way to just say that you're a fucking loser, dog. Like, here's an idea. Achieve your goals for yourself. Why do you need a woman who has sex with you in order to achieve your goals? That's such a piss poor way to live your life. See my point? Nope. Evolution doesn't work like that. Women award the already winning men, generally. Potential, other than physical potential, is looked over, it seems. Oh God, are we getting insight into the mind of a tater tot right now? Into a Andrew tater tot schlob on the knob little boy? You know, I would feel bad about saying little boy, but there's no way Andrew Tate isn't into that. I find it difficult to do the journey on my own. If a few women have skill issue. If a few women had invested in me, I'm sure I would have been a lawyer or similar by now. Blaming your failure to launch on the fact that a few women wouldn't invest in you goes crazy. That is so fucking funny. Like, what do you mean, bro? If only a few women would bounce on this dick, I would be a fucking lawyer by now. Like, do you know how stupid you sound? Like, hey, dog, you could also just become a lawyer by not being a lazy piece of shit. That's insane. And also, y'all, that's just not true. Like, coming from somebody who's a goddamn workaholic, I lose all focus and like not necessarily motivation, but like dating people while you're trying to accomplish things makes accomplishing those things way harder because it's like, do I sit here and work on a YouTube video or have sex with my girlfriend? Like, you know which one wins every time, chat? I'll give you one guess. Sex with the girlfriend. So this is just wrong. You will accomplish way more if you are just locked in and not distracted by the horny. If a few women had invested in me, I'm sure I would have been a lawyer or something similar by now. I just can't bother fighting for a dream. Like, I would go work 3 jobs for someone I fancy, but I won't do it unless I'm convinced of it being mutual. I won't do it for myself. I won't do it for the benefits it has in the future. So what you're saying is you are someone who has no motivation to do something for yourself, and you think that mentality is going to be attractive to women. You're telling me you roll up to dates and you go, oh, I don't actually pursue anything for myself goals-wise. I'll just do whatever. The only way that I'll ever do anything for anybody is if you have sex with me. Yeah, bro, it kind of adds up why you're single. It's almost as if women don't plan on staying long enough that the potential would have time to be realized. Yes, the person that shows 0% potential, they should 100% wait around for that guy to hopefully show it someday. Like, oh, this guy lives in his mom's basement for sure. Oh, sorry, I skipped to the bottom. I saw that this dude is 31. That's crazy. Which I guess overlaps well with the overall mating behavior of mankind, namely serial monogamy. It seems as if I cannot pursue something in order to gain value. I want someone to appreciate my current poor state and thus be worthy of having me at my best because we built it together. Any fix to this stupid mentality of mine? I'm 31, by the way. Oh, get therapy and get therapy fast. Like, this is fucking crazy. I hope this is rage bait. I really do. Because if there are genuinely human beings who think like this, you need electric shock therapy straight to the fucking dome, dog. Like, you're telling me that the only way that you can be happy is something out of your control. In this case, a woman deciding to, for some reason, give you the opportunity to show your potential. And that's the only way that A, you're gonna be happy, and B, do something meaningful with your life. Do you know how fucking crazy that is? That's like if I just decided, like, I'm not gonna make a single YouTube video. I'm not gonna do the thing that I care about and that I'm passionate about for my career because I need a woman who's gonna be there to have sex with me so that I can do it all for her and make her happy. You know how fucking dumb that sounds? You know how brain dead that is of a mentality and how you're just never going to accomplish anything if your only way that you think is like, oh, I can't do it for myself. My boy, read a self-help book, hopefully by not some alpha male bullshit author, and go work on yourself. Work on yourself so that you are a person that women will actually be attracted to, not a woman that has to fucking gamble on your potential. Maybe he needs some supportive friends. Listen, y'all, I am a big fan of supportive friends, but I still think the number one thing that you can do for yourself is build up a mentality and motivation for yourself that comes nowhere external. Because at the end of the day, your friends can shit on you, you have no control. Your family can shit on you, you have no control. Your partner can shit on you, no control. If you can't find something in yourself to make it happen, you're dead in the fucking water. You need to do it for yourself. That's the only way that you can ensure that even if you have to crawl, you're moving forward with something in your life. R/relationship advice. How do I get my wife to take some accountability in our marriage? We have a 34 male OP and a 33 female wife. I just want to say I love my wife more than life. She's my heart, my dearest, my angel. But she's not taking any accountability for our marriage and the position we are in. Even her mom is fed up. Essentially, ever since we had our daughter, she's been neglecting my needs. She says she's busy with our daughter, like I'm not busy as well, but I still make time to give her what she needs. Over time, I started confiding in a woman who we are both regulars at this bar, and we bonded because we were both experiencing the same thing. Her husband had poor time management, just like my wife. So when they had a child, he didn't know how to be a parent while also giving her what she needs. Things escalated and we started an affair, giving us the emotional and physical support we were both missing. My wife found out and was devastated. She wants reconciliation, but she's blaming me for everything. Even her mom told her, when you don't give a person what they need, of course they will get it from someone else. Wow, what a fucking awful mother. That's insane. I mean, I can't speak about your guys' parents, but I can't imagine going up to Kathy and being like, hey, my wife cheated on me, and her being like, that's on you, dog. Unless I was severely neglecting her, but bro, you guys have a kid. She probably just pumped out this kid. Also, let's just talk about the fact that this man is at a fucking bar enough to be able to emotionally connect with a woman to have an affair with when he has a newborn child to be taken care of. Hey man, maybe you would get laid more if you were at your house instead of the bar. It's really not that hard to not be a fucking idiot. Not excusing my behavior, and I feel really bad, but her mom tells me all the time I did what any man or woman would do. Unfortunately, my wife takes no accountability at all. It's creating a rift between her and her mom. Dude, this poor fucking wife. I hope she has good friends around her who will be like, no, girl, this is fucking crazy. Drop your mom, drop OP. She wants reconciliation and I do too, but I don't know how we can get there when there's zero accountability on her end. I'm just over it. I tried. I fought for the marriage, but I don't know if I can keep fighting. Can we please cut off his balls, chat? Please. Please. That is insane. There is no justification for cheating on your partner unless they're like physically abusing you or some shit. This woman just didn't want to have sex with you because she was too busy taking care of your child, who I would venture to guess, based off of the context clues in this story, you are neglecting and not helping out with at all. Talk about nightmare fuel, chat. That's my worst nightmare. Being surrounded by people who make me feel like 2 + 2 does not equal 4. The mom should be going to her and being like, no, your husband's a piece of shit. He should never cheat on you. I can't believe it. Oh my God. If sex is the basis of your love for someone, you suck. Exactly. I've never understood that, y'all. Like, I truly believe there are some men who just are like so horny brained that they couldn't go a year without having sex. It's not that hard. Just fucking stroke your shit, man. Stroke your shit, skip the bar, help take care of your daughter, and work on doing romantic things for your wife to help revitalize the sex life. That's the game plan, chat. God, makes me want to put my head through a wall. I can't believe it. Some men couldn't go a week without sex. It's crazy. Yeah, like if you're that desperate, go get a fleshlight or a damn doll. Exactly, bro. That jizzer is a terrible partner. What a crazy name. Imagine getting called a jizzer. That is how I will be referring to men from here on out, chat. R/unpopular opinion. It's perfectly fine for a restaurant customer to come in 5 minutes before close and order dinner. Oh my God. The time the restaurant closes is the cutoff for receiving new orders, not whatever imaginary cutoff you place on it so you can go home early. All right, bro. If you want to run your restaurant like that and make your workers' lives miserable, you go for it. But that is not the standard. That is never the standard. When you're in line for the big roller coaster and it's almost your turn, but oops, the amusement park closes. Do you say, oh, well, sucks I waited in line all this time. Guess I'll go home without riding it? Or do you expect the employees to continue working to run out the line of people who have been waiting all this time? I mean, skill issue, bitch. Should have gotten in that line earlier. I haven't been to an amusement park in years, but I hope this is how it works. I hope those amusement park people are like, get the fuck out of our line, dog. Like they should maybe have the courtesy to be like, yep, get out. And I think restaurants should do the same. It's like if you walk in 5 minutes before it closes, the restaurants tell you, hey dog, sorry, fuck off, you need to leave. I really think so. It's no different. The restaurant closing is not and has never been your go home time. It's the time you stop allowing in new customers and taking new orders. No, it's not, dog. It's so stupid. And also, he's talking as if the minimum wage employees that work at these restaurants are the ones that made these rules. Dog, these are normal people who just want to collect their check and get home as soon as possible. By you having this mentality, it keeps them from working longer than they're supposed to on their shift so that they can't get home faster. If this was happening to like the shitty owner of the restaurant, sure, maybe not have empathy for it. But these are like probably just people who want to go home, who are just putting the fries in the bag, you know? Like they just want to get their paycheck and leave. Like they don't give a fuck about giving you the best experience. They are worried about putting money in their pockets so they can pay their bills. It's just so brain dead, dog. The world does not revolve around you. There are other people with other problems. Have some respect for what they're going through in life, okay? You want to leave at 8, close at 7 or 7:30. It's almost like the employees usually don't have the choice to do that. It's almost like there's somebody else who doesn't step foot in that restaurant and tells them that they're supposed to close at a certain time. But don't piss and moan about customers coming to a business and expecting service when it's open. Yeah, not only an unpopular opinion, but a brain dead opinion. If hell exists, this person is going, and I hope their personal hell is infinite people coming in 5 minutes before the restaurant closes and making them stay an hour extra to work. I can't even imagine stepping foot into a restaurant 30 minutes before closing, let alone trying to order. No, exactly. If I look on my Apple Maps and it says closing soon, and it's not like a Chipotle or something where the food is like prepped and ready and quick and easy, not ordering. Because like nobody wants to be that dickhead. Also, let's be honest, if you do order, you're probably getting your food spinning. Yeah, what self-respecting person goes to a restaurant 5 minutes before close? And especially too, chat, if there are other restaurants you can go to, just go to that one. If it's 12:50 and there's a restaurant that closes at 1 a.m. and another one that closes at 2 a.m., just go to the one that closes at 2 a.m. People just like make such a big deal out of stupid shit. It's so ungodly brain dead. The only place I've gone to is a frozen yogurt place like 40 minutes before closing. See, 40 minutes before closing for a frozen yogurt place isn't bad. 5 minutes, maybe that's too close call. 5 minutes before Chipotle, 5 minutes before Panda Express. If you walk in and they're like, oh, we're closing soon, and you don't immediately like try to walk out, you're a bad person. That's crazy, man. I can't believe people have this like type of mentality, dog. Like there's no way this motherfucker ain't a boomer. Oh, they deleted their account after posting that. They're fucking clocking this bitch in the comments. We love it. Someone said unpopular opinion indeed, and you're a dick. It's just so shitty. That is such a boomer mindset. Like, I do think like boomers were raised where it's like service people aren't human. They're there to like serve you as you please, and you can treat them with as much disrespect as possible. Like, it's just so evil. Am I the a-hole for trying to test a girl's nerd? I, 20 male, don't think I did anything wrong, but my friends are all saying I'm an asshole. So I have a group of friends and we're quite frankly nerds. We met this girl I'll call L 2 years ago. The other guys all like her, think she's great, and she knows all about things we're into. But I had a feeling she's not really one of us. I put up with it for 2 years, but I can't shake the feeling. So the last time we were together before quarantine, I decided to test her nerd. She seemed surprised, but could answer all my questions until I got to Star Trek. I was feeling pretty confident until she asked me to clarify. Apparently, I misspoke and accidentally asked a trick question. My friends all jumped on me accusing me of being an asshole, and she didn't need to pass some tests to hang out with them, and how I needed to get over it. Is this Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory? Like, what do you mean, dog? Are you that much of a virgin that you're like, oh shit, I need to test this woman on how nerdy she is because I don't know what a vagina looks like? Like, are you kidding me, dog? My friends all jumped on me accusing me of being an asshole, and she didn't need to pass some tests to hang out with them, and how I needed to get over it. Another friend pointed out that I wasn't the guardian of the group. I got mad no one was on my side and left. Quarantine happened shortly after, and I recently found out they've all been chatting with her. I told her I didn't appreciate her trying to steal my friends. She never replied, but one of my friends bitched at me for a while. I got mad no one was listening to me and said it's her or me. He said her. None of my other friends have messaged me since. Damn, a nerdy friend group choosing a girl over you, dog? That's a pretty no-brainer, my guy. This guy does not sound like he's fun to be around either. My brother says I was trying to be king of the nerds and gatekeeping, and I should apologize. I don't think I have anything to apologize for, and they should apologize for not hearing me out. So tell me, am I the asshole for just trying to make sure Elle was actually a nerd like us? Oh, chat, we love the edit. After everybody tells him he's wrong, bro comes in hot with the edit to add, I knew I shouldn't have posted on here. You guys don't get it. I'm not going to apologize for being suspicious of her intentions and being angry my so-called friends bailed on me for some chick they've only known for 2 years. I was not gatekeeping. I was just trying to make sure she wasn't trying to be trendy. Screw this, I won't be back. Oh no, wee woo, I went on the internet to ask if I was a dickhead, and when everyone told me I was a dickhead, it's not true and it's their fault. It's everybody on the internet's fault, not mine. I'm perfect. Fuck off, dog. What a baby back bitch. I hope that friend group just told him to fuck off and he's jerking off by himself with his Star Trek dolls. That really is Sheldon Cooper, chat. He thinks female orgasm is a myth. I don't think he knows that women can orgasm, you know? You guys don't get it. My mom says that I'm perfect. I can't do anything wrong. You guys just need to listen to my mom more. I bet his mom cannot stand him. She's probably begging him to move out of the basement. Crazy work. R/marriage. My husband blames me for stepdaughter going no contact. Can a marriage survive this? Please be kind. I am lost and I have no clue what to do. I live away from family and have limited funds. I messed up bad and I've tried to be better in the past year. Husband and I have been together for 9 years and I was originally excited to have a daughter. I met his daughter when she was 9. His marriage was sexless/loveless. And he left when the baby mama was pregnant with their second, and he realized he didn't want a relationship like that. Hey dog, I don't know if you know how kids are made, but it do be kind of involving sex. I mean, maybe loveless, don't get me wrong, but it can't be sexless if she's pregnant. Also, what a fucking winner you picked. Dude said, oh shit, I got my wife pregnant. Like, what? And you went, that's the one I want. What do you mean, dog? Stepdaughter struggled with the divorce, and baby mama often whined about how she had to take care of the newborn duties alone. He was denied 50-50 at first because she wanted to only breastfeed, so his family cut him off. As they should. He sounds like a fucking piece of shit. Stepdaughter and I didn't get along. She would cry and kept trying to manipulate me to get her way. I would set up play dates, and she would do what she could to get out of them. I was told I wasn't wanted at school events. She didn't want to be in my wedding party when I asked her to be my maiden of honor, and also refused to stand with her dad. I mean, chat, am I jumping to conclusions here? Or did he get together with her very soon after he left the baby mama? I think the stepdaughter has every right to be mad. I'm surprised the stepdaughter even still sees the dad. When I redecorated the home/swapped rooms around when she was in junior high, she told everyone that I got rid of her room. She just had a different one, and made me into the bad guy. We have a home free of animal products, and I wouldn't let her bring certain clothing items inside. Rather than respect the house rules, she called husband's parents to take her home to her mom's after husband and I told her no. By the time she was 16, I went full nacho with her and her brother. A whole different story. Does anyone know what nacho stands for? Nacho kids, nacho problem? Really? Hold on. I feel like we gotta look this up, right? What does it mean to go full nacho on your step kids? Okay, it's exactly what someone was saying. In nacho parenting, step-parents avoid disciplining children, leaving this task to a biological parent. The idea behind nacho parenting is that by having a step-parent play a less authoritative role, a more positive relationship with the child can be formed. Don't get me wrong, I do think there are some levels of parenting that step-parents shouldn't do, but I don't think it should be like a, hey, my hands are clean, this is your problem, because that's not how that works. Like, you're married to that person, you're also marrying into the family that they already have, which includes their kids. So I feel like a half nacho philosophy might make more sense. But I mean, in this case, I mean, that might be better for the kids. I don't even care about OP. I care about the kids. I think step parents should serve as actual parents unless otherwise communicated. I don't know if actual parents is the best way to put that. I do agree with what you're saying. I think there has to be some parental role. The way I think of it, guys, is like, it's almost like you're at your friend's house. If you're a kid and you're at your friend's house, like, you have to listen to their parents. But I think there are times where those same parents can overstep, and it's just knowing where to step in and what qualifies as overstepping. I feel like step parents should have a similar level of authority to a teacher. That might be a good analogy too. Okay, let's keep going. I had my babies and my oldest is disabled. I ended up leaving my job that paid well to care for them full time. We hit some financial trouble because of this, and husband worked more. We were lucky if daughter would join her brother for end of week visits. I was full nacho and told husband he was in charge of taking care of them. I cooked for myself, my kids, and him, but told him that he had to deal with them. Okay, yeah, see, that I don't fuck with. Like, that to me shouldn't be nacho. Doesn't that defeat the purpose of the definition that we looked at? Like, the definition that we found was like, oh, you're not taking on the discipline responsibilities because that's supposed to build your relationship up. She's not even doing the regular parenting responsibilities. If I planned something, they could come along if they were pleasant. There was an incident where I will admit I was the petty one and I lost my temper and dropped stepson with his grandparents on the way to the zoo after he whined about not getting plushie money. Stepdaughter loved to tell this story to everyone despite me apologizing to my stepson. OP sounds fucking crazy. I never stopped husband from having a relationship with her. We have a special needs child and we both made sacrifices. The only problem we had was with child support. My in-laws cut husband off during the divorce and baby mama refused to work with us. In parentheses, after her getting remarried to a doctor and her kids throwing their lifestyles in our faces and said it was for her kids. The courts were no help, and husband had to get a second job. God, what a fucking mess, dude. This is just a snowball rolling down the hill and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The issue was last month. Stepdaughter turned 18 and completely ignored her father's attempts at congratulating her. She went out with her mom and stepfather, and my husband was heartbroken after seeing the pictures on Facebook. I was furious and made a comment about how she was happy to take his money, but couldn't even answer his texts. For a nacho parent, you sure have a lot of fucking shit to say, dog. He has paid enough in child support that she never had to go without and had help with college. Baby mama ended up causing a stir over that, and husband was pissed at me. Well, he got a letter in the mail from stepdaughter. She accused him of leaving her mom for me and putting me first, his partner, and said that her stepfather was more of a dad to her. We have issue with stepson, possibly ODD, and he does whatever his sister does. Husband has been crying and keeps accusing me of ruining his relationship with his kids. We have been fighting all week and he is staying with his brother until Labor Day. Is there any way we can save this? He blames me for his kid cutting off contact. We have a severely disabled child, a toddler, and another on the way. I'm scheduling marriage counseling, but we don't have the money for much more. Husband isn't talking with our kids either because of the evening phone calls. I've never seen him break down like this. Oh my fucking God. Wow. Just fucking wow. Listen, hot take. I think y'all need to get divorced and focus on yourselves because you're both fucked up in the head. Like, individual therapy, both of you. Your husband is definitely a shitty man and you are absolutely a shitty woman. I can't even fathom this story. I don't blame the stepdaughter one bit. Even if OP wasn't involved, I think stepdaughter would have gone no contact anyways because this dad just sounds like a fucking evil demon, bro. Like, what do you mean? Oh my God, this is from 2 days ago too. Holy shit, chat. Oh, the user deleted their page. I wanted to see all their shit, man. I like never do this, but I gotta see what people are fucking saying in the comments of this. Highlighting, he blames me for his kid cutting off contact. Well, he's not entirely wrong. Although dad should have stepped in and stopped your horrible behavior much earlier on, his job is to protect his daughter and he failed. You seem to completely lack empathy for a child that was struggling to handle her parents' divorce while also dealing with her dad bringing a new woman into the family. You kicked the poor girl out of her childhood bedroom without asking her if it would be okay. You limited her clothing. You excluded her stepkids from meals, further cementing that they are not welcome in their father's home. And now you're shocked she wants nothing to do with you or her father, who didn't protect her from her spiteful stepmom. I don't know if your marriage can survive this. He might leave you so he can mend his relationship with his daughter because there isn't a good chance she'll want anything to do with him while you're in the picture. I mean, I think there's a good chance she doesn't want anything to do with him, period. Especially if the father figure is replaced by the stepfather. Like, if I'm the stepdaughter, I'm like, good riddance, bro. Like, this was never my dad. Everybody sucks here, bro. I can't believe that. Insanely disgusting behavior. Yeah, that one definitely belongs in Am I the Devil? For sure. I'm shocked and appalled that people like this can have kids. Daughter with no contact. Says I owe her an apology for generational trauma. Daughter, 19 female, sent me a long, very accusatory text a few weeks ago. I'm sad, confused, and pissed. In the text, she outlined many of my flaws. According to her, I don't spend enough time on myself. In parentheses, therapy, books, health. If I did, it would make me a better husband, father, provider, and person. Honestly, her words fucking killed me. She was very belittling and judgmental of how I am. She used my behavior of coming home from work and sitting in my chair to call me lazy and uninvolved with the family. I'm not lazy, maybe tired. I work 2 jobs. Have been gainfully employed for 35 years. In terms of being uninvolved, she knows I've never missed even one of her or her sister's activities. Never in their whole lives. Never missed a dance competition, a recital, a birthday, a prom, nothing. I'm not perfect, but God, I love her and have made her and her sister huge priorities in my life. Often canceling shit I have going on. In parentheses, hunting, fishing, etc., so that I can support her. I don't mean to be petty here, but she'd never do that for me. Hell, one time we went on vacation to a national park and she refused to go in case her friends wanted to do something. Nope, she didn't have plans. She just didn't want to miss if they did. Yes, I'm too fat. Maybe if I were smarter, we could have stimulating conversations and wouldn't vote for the wrong person. Okay, there it is. That right there is what I was waiting for. I was like, it's coming. It's coming. Maybe I do need to clean up after myself in the house so mom doesn't have to do it, which, by the way, is the fucking pot calling the kettle black. Jesus, the kid's room is a nightmare. Plus, I'll bet I can count on one hand the time she did her own dishes without being reminded, like in her entire lifetime. You mean like a fucking kid naturally does? Like what? Like listen, I'm not saying that you should be a messy kid, but what I am saying is a messy kid comes with the territory of having a kid. If you have a kid who cleans up after themselves and doesn't need to be asked to do the dishes, you better thank whatever God you believe in for that kid, because that is an outlier. After the text, I wrote... I just wrote back, acknowledged. That is unironically the funniest thing that he could have responded with. That's hilarious. Like, have y'all ever seen the memes of like the typical dad response? That is a typical dad response. Acknowledged. Like, are you fucking kidding me? My dad is nothing like this guy. I could totally see him responding with acknowledged. The next several texts from her were worse, telling me what a disappointment I was and how I am the cause of all her issues. There was a long list of things she blames me for. She said she was the victim of my generational trauma, which I should acknowledge and apologize for. Then she started putting teeth in the texts. In quotations, I'm blocking you. Your toxic behaviors are harmful. Someday when I have kids, you'll never be allowed around them. Then she blocked me. She hasn't acknowledged my presence since. Ironically, she wrote those texts on a phone I bought her using a plan I pay for and a bed I provided for her after a dinner I helped provide. When she stormed off to go to school, which I pay for, without looking at me the next day, she got into a car I bought for her 16th birthday, which I pay insurance and repairs on. Not to mention, I do most of the repairs and maintenance myself. Know what? The kid can fuck right off. I'm not apologizing for shit. I've done my best. It's all I ever set out to do. Here's what I'll say. Number one, I'm getting unreliable narrator. The someday when I have kids, you'll never be allowed around them makes me think there's something he's leaving out. I think there's something worse that he's done or said that he did not put in this story. That is my first, like, I don't trust this guy. My second, I don't trust this guy is that he voted for Trump. If you were bamboozled, I can start going off about your IQ. But at least at this point, have the balls to be like, yeah, I made a fucky wucky. Only chance for redemption there. The only reasons that you actually voted for him, you're a hateful person and you believe what he believes, or you're just really fucking dumb. I don't think there's a middle ground. There's no other arguments why you would vote for him or still support him, because he has truly taken everything that he said he would do and shit on it and drove it into the ground. And now he's trying to be a dictator. Isn't voting for Trump bad enough to leave generational trauma? True. That's a good point. I actually kind of agree with that, low key, at this point. It's funny because minus the Trump voting and the not being willing to listening to what their kids have to say and having an adverse reaction to it, I see a lot of my dad in this. I don't talk about my dad very much. Shout out Scotty boy. We fucking love him. That being said, I have grown up to learn that he shows his love by providing for me and my siblings. He's gotten better, but especially when I was younger, he was not great about showing his love in like traditional affectionate ways. But shout out to my mom, really. She she's the one that really hammered this in for me. My dad would be gone. Maybe he missed like a hockey game, or he'd be traveling for a week or two, and I would be sad about it or upset. And my mom would tell me what she would frame it as is, your dad loves you so much, he sacrifices his time with you guys to make sure that everything is paid for you so that you can play hockey, so that you can have nice things. And that always resonated with me and stuck with me. And I think that is also the generational trauma, is like he was raised that the way a man shows his love is by providing for his family, and that's it. There's no other way that a man can show his affection for anybody other than that, because men aren't supposed to have feelings. Men aren't supposed to tell their kids they love them and give them hugs and like spend time with them. Oh, that's the woman's job. So I see like he does have that generational trauma. And I do have to say, I think if the daughter wants actual change in the father, I'm not saying the daughter is wrong here because she's completely right, but if she wants real change in the dad, I don't think this is something you do over text. I don't think this is something that you berate them and make them feel bad about. It's like an open conversation that you have in a safe place that's delicate. So I'm not saying that the girl is wrong. I would just say if she really was trying to fix the generational trauma that is this dad clearly only showed affection in the ways that he thinks is the best way or the only way a man can show that affection for their kid. In his head, he thinks like, I've been loving them to an insane level because this is how I love. And the daughter needs to come in and be like, hey, that's not the only way that you love as a man. And I also think there needs to be a little bit of empathy from the daughter's side. Don't get me wrong, still think this guy sucks. Want to reiterate, he's an unreliable narrator, in my opinion, and he shouldn't have voted for the wrong person, aka Trump. That being said, if you're in this similar situation where you're trying to communicate to your dad, because like I've kind of been in this situation. Me and my dad have had conversations about this, and I never accused him of like not loving me. I just kind of have talked about like, hey, there's other ways that we can show love here. It's not just by providing for us, which like I'm super thankful for, by the way. Like I start off those conversations being like, yo, Scotty boy, shout out you. My family never had to worry about money, and it's because of my dad. And you know what? That is a privilege that till the end of time, I will be forever grateful for from him. But it would have been nice to hear like, I love you from him more and to get more hugs and like stuff like that. And he's so good about that now because he's kind of come around to it and we've had enough discussions. So not to like totally bombard this with my own personal experience, but like, I feel like this one just hit home with me a little bit harder. I think this is very relatable. I'm sure it's relatable for a lot of people because this is truly how men have been raised to show affection, show love. And I do want to break this down. Like, this is not at all how I want my kids to talk about me if I decide to have kids. I want my kids to be like, my dad hugged me. My dad told me he loved me. My dad showed me affection. My dad participated in like the things that really do show that you love your child. That isn't the traditional, you have to be a manly man. I'm still not giving him a pass though. I'm more just kind of being like, hey, if you're in this position minus he voted for the wrong person and he's probably hiding some awful shit that he did, when you go about that conversation, don't do it the way that the 19-year-old did it. And I'd like to also clarify, she's 19 years old. You can't expect her to go about conflict resolution in a mature way because she's a brand new adult. If anything, it's your job as her parent to go up to her and be like, hey, not a fan of how you went about this, but I understand where you're going for. Let's talk about how you can better bring things up with me, and let's have a conversation, maybe less fuck you, I hate you, whatever, aggressive beratement. Let's have a conversation that way, and then I'll open up to changing. That's what he's supposed to do here. You know, this should really be like a learning experience for her. r/off my chest, my wife thinks we're soulmates. I think I settled. We've been together 9 years, married for 6. She is kind, loyal, sweet, smart. She loves me deeply, and she believes we are destined to meet. I treat her well. I've never cheated. We laugh together. On paper, we're perfect. But if I'm being honest, I've never been in love with her. Oh my God? Then don't date her, let alone marry her, and honestly keep lying to her, because there's no way that she knows he's never been in love with her. Like, he's probably telling her, oh yeah, I love you, babe. I love you more than anything. This dude had a whole fucking wedding where he professed his love for her. That's insane. I can't believe it. Oh my God. I cared about her, yes, but I was heartbroken when we met. She came into my life when I needed stability and comfort, and I mistook that for love. I kept thinking it would grow. It never did. Now we're in our 30s. We talk about kids. She looks at me like I'm the best thing that ever happened to her. and I feel like a fraud because you are. I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to blow up both of our lives, but every night I lie awake feeling like I stole the future of someone who could have had real epic love, and I don't think I'll ever forgive myself for it. As you shouldn't, you piece of shit. That's insane. Bro, you've been doing this for 9 years. 9 years. There's absolutely no excuse other than you are a selfish piece of shit. I can't believe that, dog. Wow. 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 I don't believe in God, but if he is, bro, please do not put this shit on me. That is crazy. Why would you even want to stay with somebody that you didn't love? Like, please, can we normalize men being self-aware enough to at least identify how to love someone? Like, I mistook that for love. Skill issue, by the way. I know I've been saying that a lot this stream, but skill issue. I can't believe people like this exist. This makes me so fucking scared. Y'all, this one is painful. Am I the Devil's painful, but this one, oh Jesus, that's evil, bro. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if this is how you feel about your wife, you need to get a divorce. If you care about that person, you need a divorce. You should have divorced. You shouldn't even gotten married, but you should have divorced as soon as these feelings came up so as to not waste her time. This dude is doing the longest leading a girl on ever. That's insane, man. Did he say that he hoped feelings would grow? Yeah, he did. Waiting for feelings to grow is the dumbest shit ever. If you have to force or like wait to catch feelings, then you're not catching feelings. R/marriage. My wife was pestering me a lot and I reacted by breaking a glass and she got hurt. A few days ago, I had a really hard and strenuous day at work. I had to walk a ton with some heavy stuff and was overall just drained and also had a rash on my back. I just wanted to come home and not be spoken to at all and just sit in the dark through my headache. I mean, I get it, but that sounds really dark. I texted my wife that, hey, can you please give me space when I get home? She has issues with respecting boundaries at times and to please not make any requests for me. She said, okay, and I headed home. Once I was there, she wasn't home and was probably outside, so I laid down for 10, and in the meanwhile, she had entered. I felt my rash worsen, so I told her quickly I'm gonna take a shower and I'll be done. In parentheses, we have only one bathroom in our apartment, which can be accessed from the living room. Before I went inside the bathroom, she didn't wait even a second to tell me she needs my help in getting groceries in from our car downstairs to upstairs in our apartment. And I said to please leave me alone like I had initially requested and to do this one thing. She repeated things are heavy, and I just ignored her and went back inside the bathroom. She pounded on the door and told me to not use up all the hot water as she also needed to take a bath. I felt my headache worsen the longer she spoke, so I just shut the faucet thinking I needed to be left the fuck alone even if it means I don't get to shower. So I angrily stormed out, making a beeline to the corner in the living room, which is surprisingly a sheltered section in our house, and she stood in my way. What does a sheltered section mean? She started saying the same goddamn thing about the groceries and something about our dog bed, and I just raised my voice telling her to get the fuck away from me for just today and to stop talking to me. She took this as an invitation to repeat herself again, and at this point, I nearly wanted to cry and beg, but my emotions manifested as fury, and somehow my hand landed on the glass of water I had drank from and threw it so hard on the ground that the pieces of it went flying and launched on her leg, where it started to bleed. She had also tried taking a step back, but from the water, she slipped and fell, and the back of her head slammed against the coffee table. I was aghast at this, and she started to cry very, very loudly. I begrudgingly helped her out of the mess while she kicked her legs and arms, but once she got up and started to walk towards our room, I just left the house because I was so overwhelmed and overstimulated. Bro, you just hurt your wife and caused her to fall, but you're begrudgingly helping her and then leaving her when she's injured? Begrudgingly is crazy, dude. I felt shame at what was done because, to be honest, even though in my most intrusive thoughts I wanted to fucking punch her in the face, I never actually thought something like this would happen. Oh my God. Later, when I came home the next morning, she accused me of abusing her, and I said I disagree, and that she abused me first by interloping in my space and breaking my boundaries repeatedly, especially since the patterns I saw from you were the same things my dad used to do when I'd get migraines as a child, and he needed something done. He would pester me to the point where I'd start crying, and once I got older, it turned into anger, although I've never reacted physically before. Was I wrong? This whole story is such a shit show. Don't get me wrong. The wife is the victim here. The wife is definitely in a much worse situation, but I don't think the wife helped this situation at all. Like, I do have to say, up until he started throwing shit and saying that he wants to punch his wife in the face and showing how he reacted after he hurt her, everything he did here was kind of okay in my books. Like, he had a rough day at work and he knew that he needed time and space for himself and texted his wife ahead of time, and then she didn't respect that. Not saying that the wife deserved this, not saying that this is her fault. I think OP needs immense amounts of therapy. I think OP is definitely abusive, but like, I just think these people need to separate from each other immediately, and they both need therapy. It's still not an excuse to harm. Absolutely 100% agree with that. Like, I low-key think this isn't everyone sucks here, but OP sucks like up here, and the wife sucks like down here for not respecting OP's boundaries. But still, it's not an excuse. It's not okay. And I do have to say, like, this whole thing, like, why did he decide not to take a shower? But then it's not like he decided, oh, I'm not going to take a shower so I can help my wife bring her stuff up. Bro was separated. He could have just taken his shower, taken that time to calm down or whatever. But instead, he turned off the shower and tried to beeline it to a corner in the living room, which is a sheltered section, which I don't even know what that means. This escalated so fast, OP is having some dangerous thoughts. Exactly. Like, OP is the dangerous one. OP is the one that needs the most work. I don't get why the wife did what she did. Like, I don't want to blame her. I don't think this is her fault. I think she's with a flawed partner 100%, but it almost feels like this didn't need to happen if she would have just respected, my husband had a rough day. I get where she's coming from, where like she needs that help, but she also knew that her husband was having a bad day. Him getting frustrated is understandable, but acting out like he did is concerning. Thank you, Echo. I think that's what I was trying to say, but you said it much more succinctly. Yeah, begrudgingly helped his wife that he hurt. This man hates his wife. That was such a red flag. If there's any redemption from having a physically violent reaction to what your partner's doing and that hurts your partner, it's to immediately feel remorse and immediately want to help them and immediately identify that what you did is not okay. Begrudgingly and then walking out without even making sure she's okay, without tending to her wounds that you caused, insane activity. Yeah, when he texted her, she could have asked him to bring the groceries in before he started his relaxation. I mean, obviously we don't know what the groceries are, but it's like, to me, it's like, okay, if I absolutely can't carry up certain groceries and whatnot, it's like, can we put this off till later? Can I give him an hour to just like chill out? Like, I get it. Or even to like the framing of it, of just like, before I went inside the bathroom, she didn't even wait a second to tell me that she needs help in getting my groceries from the car downstairs. I feel like there's a better way that's like, hey babe, I know you're having like a headache and like a bad rash. I can't take these groceries up the stairs. I wouldn't bother you otherwise. I'm gonna take up what I can, but just whenever you get around to it, can you do this after your shower, whatever. I feel like that's a better way to go about it, where it's like, if your partner's an understanding partner, they should be able to be like, okay, yeah, I'm mad, but like, obviously I have to carry these groceries if my wife can't carry them up. Yeah, that could have ended with her dead and he left after hurting her to an awful extent. Exactly. The head on the coffee table is scary. I think he's using his migraine to excuse his abusive behavior, which is never okay. 100%, Ashton. It can be an explanation, but it can't be an excuse. We're not just gonna be like, oh, dude, you hurt your wife because you had a migraine and you have trauma from your dad. Oh, you're perfectly fine, dog. You're good. You get the pass. Like, no, absolutely not. The boundary should be respected, but I'm afraid it wouldn't have helped much. In the long run, I don't think it would have. I think this would have manifested in another way, even if it hadn't happened right now. But I do think it's more of just like we should point out that respecting your partner's boundaries is incredibly important. Not as detrimental as abusing your partner, but it's still important. I tried initiating penetrative sex with my partner. We have a 32 male OP, 30 female partner, and this was posted in r/relationship advice. Really quick, if you're enjoying this podcast and you can think of somebody who would also enjoy these Reddit stories, it would mean the world to me if you shared this podcast with that person. That is by far the best way you can help me grow this podcast, is by your word of mouth, and I would greatly appreciate it. Along with that, if you guys ever share a story of you listening to the podcast or even just a screenshot and you tag me on Instagram, on Snapchat, I always reply, interact, and repost those to my stories. My Instagram and Snapchat handles are below. As always, not required, but definitely appreciated. My partner has a history of trauma. Oh no, I hate where this is going already. I strive to be understanding of this. An incident today has left me confused. We spent several hours exploring local history, an interest of hers that I also enjoyed. Afterward, we were both hungry, so I suggested ordering sushi. She mentioned being extra hungry, so we ordered 3 plates to share. While we ate, we watched a series. After the meal, I felt in the mood for sex. I know my girlfriend prefers to move slowly, so I asked her to lie down with me. For about 30 minutes, I just held her. Then over the course of an hour, I began to touch her more. She appeared appeared to be enjoying it when I started fingering her, so I suggested penetrative sex. She said, okay, get the lube. I retrieved it. As I was about to enter her, she said, I want you to really get me in the mood. Can you get some toys that you can use on me? I told her I was very horny and wanted to start with penetration, suggesting we could use toys later. I explained I did not need to orgasm, but just wanted some of that specific intimacy. Her smile vanished. She said, no, I'm not ready. This is not right. I immediately responded, okay, we don't have to have sex. She said, no, I want to. Go get the toys. I responded with, I really don't have the energy to bring out the toys and start playing with them now. She then said, I just want you to listen now. I agreed. She told me I really feel taken advantage of. I was confused by this, but remained quiet and listened. She continued, this is not okay. I'm not ready. I reiterated, it's okay. We don't have to have sex. She then said, but you wanted to penetrate me. I confirmed, yeah, I was really hoping to. I've been ready since we ate. She repeated, this is not okay. What about me? Don't you understand? I need to be in the mood too. All I'm thinking is that's what I've been trying to get you into the last hour. I don't say this because she was very clearly upset and angry. I am left feeling completely confused. So like, this is easy for me to follow, but maybe it's not easy for a dumb person to follow, but it's just like, hey dude, in order to get her turned on to a point where she wants to consent to penetrative sex, in order to do that, she needs you to use some toys to get that going for her. That's all she's saying. I think she was pretty clear with it. Basically, this man is just too stupid to understand, hey bro, like touching her and fingering her isn't good enough for her to get to a level where she's ready for penetrative sex. And like, if you don't have the energy to bring out toys and start playing with them, then you don't get to have sex, because this isn't just like a one way I get what I want. It's just really weird. I do have to say, I think we have to point out that this dude is at least respecting the consent and being able to be like, oh, you're not in the mood. We don't have to have sex. Where the part where he's the devil and where he's just fucking dumb is he's not smart enough to not be able to put together that like girls need to be turned on to. Guys get turned on with a press of the button, boom, they have a boner ready to go. Girls are not like that. And she's trying to communicate to him that like, no, I want to do penetrative sex with you. I just need warm up first. That is the requirement for this to consensually be making sense, is I need you to use the toys. And for some reason, he's too stupid to put that together, which is fucking crazy. Penetration alone rarely makes a girl's finish. I'll go further to that. Penetration alone rarely gets a girl to like the level of like horniness that they need to be at to where it's not like uncomfortable. Kat said, dude's jealous of a toy. I really don't think he's jealous. I think he's fucking stupid. Like, I don't think he understands how women work. And to be honest, that's a lot just dudes learning about sex from porn. Georgie said, in my opinion, this was something that needed to be privately communicated between the two and rather than posted to Reddit. If I just found this and he needed advice, I would tell him, bro, you're respecting consent, but you don't understand it. What he doesn't understand is that she can say she wants to have sex, but in order for that to happen, there's things that she needs. For it to be consensual, she needs those things to happen. And you're basically saying that you don't want to do those things to make it happen. You just want to jump straight to the actual part. But if it's painful for her, then it becomes non-consensual. He doesn't want to jump into that territory, and I have to like at least put a little respect on his name, but he needs to smarten the fuck up. And I hope someone on Reddit told him that, because I don't think the girlfriend is helping him connect dots. I wish every man was intuitive and smart enough to connect those dots, but someone needs to explain to him how consent works. So like, if his partner can't do it, I'm glad he is reaching out on Reddit.